It's a quick video, right? The Sixers have one more open roster spot, and Daryl Morey has basically confirmed it's going to be a small forward or power forward, adding some size to the wings, right? And there've been two names that have been circulating: Marcus Morris Sr. and Tyrese Bertans. Let me say this right now. Tyrese Bertans is terrible. Awful, awful, awful. He's not an NBA player. This is a rant to get out of the way for you guys who seemingly want him here based on what he used to do to us when he was on the Spurs or the Wizards. The guy is terrible. He's 6'10", can't guard a cone. He's weak. He's slow-footed. He's a shooter that can't even shoot consistently. He's a liability on the court. You can't have him out there. Dallas acquired him from Washington, hoping that they're losing Porzingis, they can get the tall floor space and Bertans and then the shot creation from Spencer Dinwiddie. Dinwiddie did his part of the time. Bertans was so bad, so unplayable, they literally sat him on the end of the bench. DMP after DMP. A guy earned nearly $20 million a season could not play. He was that bad. He was that bad. How can you be a floor spacer playing next to Luka Doncic and be useless? Not only that, the guy is a liability defensively and can't rebound the ball well. There is absolutely no use for Tyrese Bertans. With his flaws, drawbacks, or things he doesn't do well, at least knock down the three ball at a consistent clip. With his deficiencies, shooting 35, 36, 37% from three ain't it. It's not a bad percentage, but for someone who literally cannot do anything else on the court, we need more. George Niang, who was here a couple years ago, couldn't really move that well, but good shooter, 40 to 44% each season you were looking at for George. A guy who I can't say could take a guy off the dribble, but he had a couple take to the rim. And overall, I won't say he's the best defender, but he's gritty. And overall was an NBA level player, IQ-wise, and that's why he's in Cleveland right now. Came off a season averaging 10 points a game, was useful. You can be, quote-unquote, not very highly skilled, but be a floor spacer in the NBA and have a job for a very long time. But Tyrese Bertans is done. He's cooked. He's shit. He's that bad. He's terrible. He should come nowhere near this roster. For a team who's basically capped out in the sense you don't have much flexibility to sign any more free agents, to be fair, it's important that guys you get on the veteran minimum are guys that can genuinely help. And Bertans is -1. At that point, bring back Furk, because I genuinely believe Furk is better than Tyrese Bertans. He is terrible. Now, when it comes to Mook, right, I think Mook had an interview the other day where I saw Keith Pompey tweet it that Morris wants to come back and obviously be open to returning back to his hometown. I would say Morris grew on me. When he first came here, I wasn't the biggest fan, but as he grew into the rotation more, as Nick Batum had some time off and Roko's knees were just being Roko's knees, he became a lot more valuable. I remember that game against the Lakers where we blew them out at the Wells Fargo Center. He played very well. And overall, he started to become a more consistent player for this team in the sense of spacing the floor and overall being a big presence. I kind of liked him here. So he's a guy who I'd be open to having back because in his time here, he didn't look half bad. And with the options you have right now, it wouldn't be too bad taking a chance on Morris. I can't even say taking a chance because you already know what he's going to bring. He's been here before, and for a veteran minimum, he's cool. There's reports that the Cavs have a 1-year, $6 million offer sheet on the table right now, which is double the amount we can offer him because we can only offer him the veterans minimum. But if he's willing to come back and take that sacrifice to be back in his hometown, then I definitely do it. He's a much better option than Tyrese Bertans. I could argue Morris at this point is a better shooter, and Morris has self-creation to his game. Yes, Morris has a tendency to jab and take the most contested shot of all time, whatever. But overall, he's a guy who can somewhat create and is a wing that I'd like. And if you're looking at building chemistry, right, you've got Reggie Jackson and Drummond, great friends. You've got Reggie Jackson and PG played together. You've got PG and KJ Martin played together. If you had Mook, he's played with He's played with Paul George before. He's played with Reggie Jackson on the Clippers. So these are guys who have somewhat played with each other, including Eric Gordon to that mix too. So you want guys who have in different stops play with each other. And I know it's going to be a different system because you're playing with a different offense, different coach, etc., etc. But guys who have a sense of familiarity with each other's game will just be easier fitting in. Obviously, just helping the gelling process be a lot quicker. So I'd definitely look at a guy for like Mook because, like I said, he's played with those guys before and he somewhat understands Nick Nurse's system and how it is like to play with Joel Embiid because he did that when he was here. So that's definitely a more viable option. But all the other crap I'm hearing about guys like Tyrese Bertans, cut it out. The guy stinks. The guy should not come anywhere near this team. He can't help anymore. He's not a good NBA player. Point blank period. He's fucking terrible. I won't even take him for free. He's that bad. But other than that, just a quick little video here. Let me know what you guys think should be the answer at the power forward position. I don't think there's many options out there. I am very interested with the amount of, or intrigued, I should say, by the amount of guards on this team. We don't really have a lot of size in that department. We have a lot of guys between the 6'1" to 6'4" range, which in the NBA today is a bit concerning, but we'll see what happens. There might be changes come training camp, a couple games into the season that we have a lot of picks, and Daryl Morey is a very creative guy, so we'll see what happens. And we've got KJ's contract to dabble with too. But overall, I would definitely be looking to see early on in the season how big of an issue that power forward spot is. And if it is that big of an issue, obviously the backup powerful position, then there's always avenues for us to acquire or attain someone who can gently help in that department. Plus, you're banking on Ricky Council being good. But even though he's big, plays big, he's still undersized for a 4. But we should see, and we shall see how it turns out. But overall, I'll be intrigued to see what they do with that final roster spot. Just make sure it's not Tyrese Bertans, and I'm cool. But in the comment section down below, let me know what you guys think, the kind of guy you guys want to see Daryl Morey acquire, and how you guys think the roster's shaping up so far. What would you change? And overall, are you optimistic going into training camp in the preseason? But like I said, thank you guys so much for listening. Leave in the comment section down below you guys' opinions, and until the next one, I'll see you guys later. Peace.